Welcome to the channel. In this video, we will be building 3 beginner level Python projects. So if you know a little bit about Python basics, then you can easily build this. So the first project is project 1 is applying filter to images. And the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to comment on each line of code so that you can easily understand what each word in a line of code represents. So the first thing is from fill import image enhance image filter. So we are using this library called fill. It's actually called pillow, and we are using 3 other modules called image enhance and image filter. So let me comment this out. We are using pillow library. We are from that using 3 modules. So in order to install this library, all you have to do is come to terminal window and press pip install pillow. Make sure you have capital P and double L O W. Now if I hit enter, it says requirement already satisfied, which means that I have already installed the library. Now let's move on to the next step. Alright, so the next thing is import OS. What this does is that it allows us to perform directory operations. So we will save our file using this library for interacting with file. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to create input underscore directory is equals to r string, and in here I'm going to place the path for my images. So if I open simple images, here you can see I have image 1, image 2 and image 3. So we're going to right click, copy relevant path and paste here. And here you can see I have the path of the images. So what we did here is that we specify input directory path, and secondly it contains original images. So the next thing is we're going to create output underscore directory equal to r, and in here I'm going to left click here, copy relevant path, and here my edited images will be stored. So here I am specifying specify output directory, and it will contain edited images. The next thing we are going to do, we are going to create a for loop for file name in os.list directory, and inside input underscore directory. So with the help of for loop, we will store each image in file name after getting them from input directory. So what we are going to do in this loop is that we're going to iterate each file in through input directory, and secondly process each file individually. So that is what for loop does. It iterates and then processes each file individually. The next thing we are going to do is we're going to create a variable image that will have the object image dot open, and inside I'm going to use f string, f inverted commas, and in here I'm going to place the input directory that we created above. And the next thing is I'm going to place slash for separating. Remember, this slash is being used for dividing. Why? Because we're inside a string. Here you can see inverted commas, which means that we are inside a string, so it's being used to separate file name, and that's it. So what we did here is open image file from input directory, load image data into variable image. Now we have opened the image file and we loaded it into image variable. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a variable edit that will use the image variable that we just created, and then it will apply the filter, and inside we are going to pass the argument that will be image filter dot sharpen, and then dot convert, and inside we're going to set it to L. L means it will set it to grayscale. So what is happening here is that we select filter method and apply sharpen filter to image. Then we convert to grayscale, and in here we're going to enhance image clarity and reduce colors. So we took the image variable, we applied the filter. Sorry, I made a mistake. And then inside we passed the argument image filter dot sharpen, and then again I use dot to convert into grayscale. So it's sharpening image and converting it into grayscale. Alright, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to create factor equal to 1.5. So what this does, it will set contrast enhancement factor. And what happens is that if our value is greater than 1, then it will increase contrast. And if it is lesser than 1, then it will decrease the contrast. So factor is going to be equal to 1.5. The next thing we are going to do, we are going to create enhancer. Enhancer equals to image enhance dot, we're going to select contrast, and inside we're going to place the edit. What this is doing is that we created image enhance object for contrast adjustment. Now we are going to update the edit equal to enhancer dot enhance, and inside factor. So what this does, it adjusts the image contrast. We do it by specified factor that we just created, 1.5. The next thing we are going to do is we're going to create clean underscore name equal to os.path.split text. So what, and inside I'm going to place file name, and here we're going to set. So what this does is that it extract file name without extension. For example, if we have image.jpg, it will extract image from it, not jpg. The next thing we're going to do is we will create edit.save os.path.join output underscore dir f string, and inside I'm going to place clean name, and outside it will have the prefix, it will have edited.jpg. So what is happening here is that save edited image to output directory, and file name includes edited suffix. So what that suffix, it is going to be edited. So what we did in this code, we imported a library and modules, then we imported OS, we created input directory, output directory, we created a for loop to read the image files, and then we opened those images, we applied the filter, we chose the factor 1.5, then we applied enhancer on the image, and then we applied factor, and after that we saved our file, and then we extracted the file name without extension, and after that we saved the edited file, save edited image to output directory, and the file name includes the edited suffix, that is edited image. So if I come here and run the file, it is giving me an error. Alright, so the error is it should be single T, not multiple. Now if I run it again, okay, so it's hopefully running fine. Here you can see, here is image 1, and here was the simple. Here's the image 2, here is the applied one, and here's the image 3, and here's the applied one. So this is how you can apply filter to your images. So all you have to do is just place smaller images into this folder, and the filter will be applied to all of those. Now let's move on to the next project. In our project 2, we will be building a PDF merger that will take different PDFs and combine them. Project 2, combining PDF. So for this, we're going to need a library called PyPDF. Import PyPDF. So what this does is that it allow us to work with PDF files. And the second library is obviously going to be import OS, so that we don't face any issues with the directory. OS import OS library to work with file paths and directories. Now the next thing we are going to do, we are going to give the directory of our PDF files. So I have 3 PDF files, first, second and third, which you can see here. First PDF file, it contains text and tables mostly. Second PDF file contains images, and the third PDF files contains graphs and tables. So I have all of these files inside the same folder as my project file. And now I'm going to create the directory variable. PDF underscore directory is equal to R parentheses, and inside I'm going to give the relative path to my PDF files. So what we are doing here is that we are setting set folder where your PDF files are stored. And the second thing we're doing is that we use R for making it a raw string, which is useful for file paths. Now the next thing we are going to do is we're going to create another variable called PDF files, and it will be a list, and inside the list we will have the names of the PDF files. First dot PDF comma, and then second dot PDF, and then third dot PDF. So what is happening here is that we created a list of our PDF files name, PDF file names that you want to merge, and these files should be in the folder specified above, which is this folder. Alright, the next thing we are going to do, we're going to create an object called merger equal to PyPDF2 dot PDF merger. What this does, that this object will be used to combine multiple PDFs. Now the next thing we are going to do is we're going to create a for loop, exactly like last project. For file name in PDF underscore files, and inside we will give it file underscore path equal to os.path.join, and inside PDF underscore directory and file name. So what we are doing here is that we are starting a for loop that iterates through each PDF in our list. So this for loop will go through each PDF in this variable, that is first, second and third, and it will store it in file name variable. And after that, the first thing we did was to combine the directory path and file name to get full path of each PDF. This ensures that we can find the file no matter where the script is running from. So if I just break it down, so because most of the time when you run the similar projects, you will encounter the error related to directory. So this line of code will fix that. All right, the next thing we are going to do is we're going to set up a condition that if os dot path dot exists, and inside we are going to pass the argument file path, you are going to do this. What is that? That you are going to open the files file underscore path, and inside you are going to use rb as file. Why we are using rb? It is because our pdf files contains images as well. So rb literally means read binary, and inside we are going to 1 2 3 4 set up pdf underscore reader equal to py pdf2 dot pdf reader, and inside file. And at the end, what we will do is we will use merger dot append, and in here pdf underscore reader, and here we will finish our if else condition. That else you are going to print this statement using the f string that file not found, and inside I'm going to place file underscore path. So what happened in this if else conditions? So the first thing we did was we checked if pdf file exists, and the second thing we did was it will prevent errors if file is missing. All right, and what this with open file path as file line does, it will open the file in binary, and binary mode is used when pdf files have non-text elements such as images, because pdfs doesn't contain videos. And what we did here, pdf underscore reader, this allows us to read the pdf file contents, and at the end we use the merger object, and at this point this step allows us to combine added pdf files, and at the end after completing the if condition we set up the else. Why we need else? Because this helps us identify what file is missing. And at the end we're going to create merger.write, and inside final underscore merged.pdf. What this does, after all PDFs are added, we save the combined PDF to a new file that is going to be final merged, and at the end we close the merger. So what this line of code does, it closes the merger object. So what is happening here is that we imported two libraries. Secondly, we give the directory of the PDF files and our project file. Then we give the list of the PDF files. We created the merger object that we are going to use later on. Then we use the for loop to read the PDF files that we have. The next thing we did was to combine the directory path and the file name. This ensures that we can find the file no matter where the script is running. And then we set up a condition that if the PDF file exists, then you are going to merge it. For that, we open that file that we found in binary. Then we use the PDF reader to read the opened file, and then we applied the merger to combine it. But if that file does not exist, we're going to print the statement that file not found. And at the end, we saved that file using the right method. And at the end, we closed the merger object using the close method. So if I run my program, oops, I got an error. What does it say? It says that, alright, so the inverted commas should be at the end as well. If I run it, okay, so if our file runs successfully, and if here you can see I have final merged PDF, and if I open it in my Explorer and double click, here you can see my text file is first, then comes the file with the images, and then at the end the file with graphs and tables. So this is how you can create a PDF merger, a beginner level project. Hope you learned it. Now let's move on to the project 3. In this project we will create a QR code that when we scan it, it will take us to our social media profile like Twitter, Instagram, or to a website. So in order to do that, first of all, we are going to use a library called QR code. Import QR code. So in this library will help us create a QR code with link. So in order to install it, all you have to do is type pip install QR code, and when you run it, for me it's saying requirement already satisfied, but for you it will install within a minute. After that, we are going to create a variable data equal to input. We're taking input from the user, and we're going to print the statement enter the text or URL. And sometimes people add spaces, so we are going to strip the spaces included. So this method allows us to remove these spaces. And the next thing we are going to do, we're going to create a variable with file name, and for this we are also taking the input. We'll type enter the file name, and we will also apply strip method to it because it will help us remove the spaces so that we don't face any mismatch. So what we are doing here, we are getting user input for data and file name. We are also removing spaces from strings. Alright, the next thing we are going to do is we're going to create a QR code object. For that, we're going to use QR equal to QR code dot QR code. In here, we're going to set the dimensions of the box. So box underscore size equal to 10. You can choose whatever you want, and after looking what mine shows, then border setting is equal to 4, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create QR dot add underscore data, and what this is doing is that it is adding data to QR code object. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to generate the QR code image. So image equal to QR dot make underscore image, and inside parentheses I'm going to create fill underscore color equal to black, and the next color for the back color is going to be white, so that we have black and white QR code. And at the end, what we are going to do is we will create image dot save, and inside file name, what this is doing, it's saves the image to a file. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to print a success message, and in here print f QR code saved as file name. So it was a pretty small project. So first we imported the QR code library, then we took the data from the user. First of all, is going to input the URL, and secondly we are going to set up the name of the file that will be created as a QR code. And here we set up the dimensions of the box, that is going to be 10 and 4. And then we added the data that we took from the user right here inside this box by this line of code. And then we generated the image. After applying the data to QR code, we generated an image that is going to be black and white. And then at the end, we saved that image. And here it is going to be same as the file name that we took from here. So if I run my program, here as you can see at the bottom, it's asking me for the link. For this, I have saved my Twitter link. I'm going to copy it and give it here, paste and hit enter. And now it's asking me for the file name, and I'm going to type x and math_ai. And if I hit enter, oops, I got an error. It says print is not defined. To mean print, here you can see I made the error. Now if I run it again, I give it my Twitter link again and set up my file name x math_ai and hit enter. And here you can see I made another mistake. Why? Because we also have to give the extension. So if I run it again, I give it my URL and then give the file name x math_ai dot jpg and hit enter. Let me delete the previous file, and here you can see the QR code. Now let me show you my mobile recording so that let's see if it takes us to my Twitter profile. So you can see I'm now on my mobile's camera and it has scanned my QR code. You can download any QR code app, and now if I click on the link which is showing to me, and here you can see it has taken me to my Twitter profile. Now let's get back to computer screen. Yeah, so that's all. I showed you how to create 3 small beginner level projects, and if you want to learn from me, you can click the first link in the description or in the pin, and I'll see you in the next Python videos. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.